This is my audience. Today I will be talking about my grandma, Christine L. McGillum. She was a wonderful person. She was very caring. She loved everyone she met. She enjoyed going to church every Sunday. People depended on her for prayer. Whenever they needed something, they knew they could depend on her. She was an amazing cook. Almost every Sunday, after church, we would go to her house, which we always had houses beside each other, my aunt and then grandma and then our house. So we would always walk over to her house after church, and we would have Sunday dinner, potatoes, mashed potatoes, macaroni, corn, everything you could think of. And it was always our favorite thing to do on Sunday was to go over to grandma's house. Like even when we would go to her house, she would always like have milkshakes ready. There was always ice cream in the freezer for us. And she would always have canned Pepsi. That was her thing, canned Pepsi and Swiss roll cakes. We could always count on her to have that in her pantry. She was an amazing seamstress. She sewed her entire life. She would make quilts for people, dresses, suits. She never went to college, but she sewed out of her house for people, and that she would make a little money about that. And my aunt always complains that she never charged enough. She would just be like, that'll be $1 for like a dress. She would always complain that she never told people the right amount. Almost every Friday night was spent at her house. If I didn't show up on Friday night, she would always call me or call mom and dad to ask where I was. It would always start out with her cooking whatever I wanted her to cook. It didn't matter what it was. She would make sandwiches, Sunday dinner if I wanted it, and then we would eat, and then she would get our pajamas out, and then we would go upstairs to watch a movie, and she would always last 5 to 10 minutes, and then she would be out, and I would wake her up, and I would say, "Grandma, you ready to go to bed?" And we would head to bed. She would always make sure I had a nightlight on, and she would always make sure I was covered and I was warm. She always made sure I was never cold. I remember one time we were laying in bed and I told her I was hungry, and she got up in the middle of the night and she made me ham and cheese sandwich and we ate that with a milkshake. Sorry. She was diagnosed sorry. With Alzheimer's and dementia. She slowly started forgetting who we were, which was hard because she was one of my best friends. I could always talk to her about whatever, and she would never judge me. She would always give me advice. Me and my sister were one of the last people she forgot, which was hard because, I was losing my best friend. I had to remember the memories for both of us. She went to the nursing home. We visited her every day after school. She would tell us the same stuff over and over, but we acted like we had never heard that story before. And she broke her hip. She suffered, which was the hardest part, seeing somebody you love suffer like she did. But she passed away, and I know she would want us to be upset, but she was one of the greatest people I've ever known or will ever know. She has had such a huge impact on my life life and my family's. And so, yeah, that's about my grandma. Thank you.